Bortle here at the DOOD Houston, Texas Regional. My goodness. But whoa, please introduce yourself to the world.
My name is Nick. Topped Houston, got third place after Swiss, and I did it with Pure Yummy.
Pure Yummy, what made you decide to play Yummy for the event, man?
I've just been a strong supporter of the deck ever since pre-DOOD, and I've been testing the cards for a long time, and with the addition of Marshmallow, I think this deck is even crazier, so it's very good.
Very nice. And you mentioned you finished with X1. What deck beat you in the event?
Pascal beat me in Swiss on Memento. Game 1 I messed up. Game 2 he just had the nuts. He super poly'd me with Anguich and Stachi into a Chorizo, and then Talon's True 2 drew it into another super poly and made Guru. So I just couldn't play it.
My goodness. All right, any shout outs before we begin?
Shout out Michael, Gio, all the boys that go to GM, Cardhaven, my testing buddies, Nick and Taylor. Without them, I don't think I'd be as good on this deck as I could possibly be. And just everybody that shows up to locals.
Yes, without further ado, please show us the third place group.
Super simple. 3 cupsy, 3 cookie. Some people will swear on 2 now. I think 3 is still really important. You want to see the names, that way you can get your combo started. 3 lolly. And the God card, this makes it so Uka is never necessary anymore. And if you banish the field spells, now we have a way to recur them almost infinitely. So 3 Marshmallow is really important. 2 Surprise. I think the second one still comes up. I've had games where I resolved all 3 effects, and being able to recycle it from Grave and just being able to resolve as many effects as possible is really important, I think. You play 1 of each field spell. Most of the time I'm placing a Croaky, so that way I'm nib protected and I don't really have to worry about anything. Minion's more like an OTK, or maybe if I'm going second and I'm trying to go for game. The only time I'm really ever placing this turn 1 is if I'm really desperate and I need the play. We still play striker cards. I think these are really strong, so you play 3 Engage, 1 Hornet. They're just good cards in general. They're spell starters in some sense, but they also let you outplay based off different hand traps, which I think is really nice. And then the 1 Obstacle, I never drew it today. Kind of wish I did. Actually, that's a lie. I drew it once in combination with Stachi, or not Stachi, Surprise, and it didn't necessarily win me the game, but it helped me forward a point where I could force out back row. I got barriered a lot today, which is weird, but for some reason, this deck just does not die to barrier. It's more like, okay, I'm just gonna push for damage and hope I kill you, and if you don't, you still have to deal with 2 Statues and all the rest of the board, so it's really tough. That's it for Engine. You just play consistency cards now, so pot, I mean, self-explanatory. Then hand traps. 3 Ash, very standard. 3 Fua, very standard. 3 Bell. I was really scared of Mitsu and Draco Tail, so still maining this is really important, I think. And I think it just has a overall pretty good spread against most of the meta decks right now. And for that reason, I actually main Droll. It came up a couple times today. I didn't play pure Mitsu. I played Mitsu variants, which was really weird. But every time I drew it, it was relevant. Even against Yummy, if they start like normal summon Cupsy, grab Surprise. If you droll them on res, I think it opens up a point where they lose out on a Synchro and Grave, and now they're restricted to like Lolly Synchro and maybe SP as like sort of their follow-up. 3 Purge. I'm too poor, so I only own 1 QC. 3 Emperor. Pretty standard hand traps. 18 seems to be the sweet spot for me in terms of consistency. So,
what's the main account?
40. Perfect 40. Yes, sir. Onto the side, or extra. We got World's Tokens. 3 Snatchy. This card's broken. If it ever goes below 3, I think this deck will become unplayable. Then you play all the Synchros. This deck is heavily reliant on being able to sequence everything properly. I think the benefit of this deck is it rewards people that know their matchup spread and know how to interact with them very well. Anybody outside of that will say this deck isn't that good, but honestly, this deck is crazy when it goes off. As a result, We play more consistency cards, Metal Marchers, that way we can go into a Herald play. Starham comes up, especially in being able to revive the Marshmallow. Marshmallow to place a new field spell if like you burn through all your snatchies. It may seem very small, but it is relevant. For that reason, we still play it. Play the one of Kagari because we play striker cards. SP still broken. Being able to remove problem cards. In my last match, I actually had a situation where I had to SP. Oh my god, I was playing RB Mitsu Orchist, and he had Crescendo set. And based off the board state, I had a Link Spider and just 3 names. If I didn't sequence it properly, where I SP try and force out the Crescendo, I think I just completely lose. But as a result, because I was able to force it out, I was able to end up winning that game 3 as a result. Uka, this card's still important. There's a couple times where you will burn through both surprise effects, so you'll reborn. Sometimes you'll bounce a field spell or bounce 2 in order to, be able to clear the board, and being able to reset it is really strong. Almirage is still important. I think you have to play it because of the weird hands where you open up a hand trap and like a bad name. As a result, you want to normal summon the bad hand trap, make Almirage, special out the bad name, then go from there. It gives you a little bit more opportunity to tag out, so you don't die to single target negation. Typhon, this card's still important. Really good into the Draco Tail matchup. I had one game where I was able to prevent Nib because of it, and it just ended up spiraling. And as a result, I think Nib is becoming a lot more popular, so Link Spider is back in my extra deck. I made it, I don't even know how many times today. It honestly was a crazy card, and even in my last matchup, it came up and I just ended up winning because of it. Off to the side, 3 Nib. This card's broken. I wish I could play like more extra deck cards to kind of supplement it, but keeping it on field isn't even that bad. Retail C, this is for the Draco Tail matchup. Initially it was Crow. I didn't like Crow. I felt like I kept losing to Draco Tail and just random BS, so I just decided to throw it back in. I didn't draw it once today, but in the games where I would have drawn it, it probably would have won me the game. Perlia is still really strong. Kind of just a mandatory side deck card for being able to draw more names and being able to special out. Evenly is really, really good. I think this is a bit of a sleeper card. Not a lot of people are playing into it. I know it kind of conflicts with Retail C and Nib, but for the matchups, I'm siding this in. It's like Draco Tail, I could side either 2 of these in, draw one of them, and I'd still feel really strong. Even into the Magistus version. Dealing with Caliga is really annoying, but if I get to a point where I can evenly and force it out to be the only card I have to deal with, it just makes it so much simpler. And then 3 of the going first cards. So we play Call by, Triple T, and Judgment. Initially I was trying Warning. Warning felt very lackluster, so just 1-ofs are broken, right?
Yeah.
So that's how it is.
Sweet. Hey, beautiful explanation. Thank you so much, and congrats on 3rd place, man.
Thank you,
Until
sir.
next time, everyone. Portal.